How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? I feel like the luckiest man in the world. When you got somebody that thinks about you, it makes you feel good. So, anyways, welcome to the Apocalyptic Optimath channel. This is the Apocalyptic Optimath. My name is Seth, also known as Lucifer, also known as King the Conqueror. And if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. I hope you guys like what you hear. And what else? Well, joining my channel. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. So, yeah. So, King the Conqueror. Okay. The technomancy ability of camera, as I've spoken about before in that video. I don't remember the title of the video, but it was kind of an homage to Christianity and the Jesus archetype. I don't know how people felt about that. I feel like people should have appreciated that one a little bit more. Because that was a flower. That was a flower from a demonologist. And I was aware that I was using the camera ability a couple years prior from today. I finally noticed, and broadcast is pretty powerful too. I don't see ability of broadcasting. I don't know if I talked about that, but I guess I won't, because I've been told to keep this shit for myself. But it's kind of hard to keep it for myself when the Illuminati has 100% access to my mind, my house, and everything herein. So it's kind of hard to keep something private that's supposed to be private, but it can't be private. And I'm starting to suspect that the last time, I feel like the reason why I got sent to the hospital is to steal some of my notes. I kind of feel like that was the real reason. It sounds crazy, but I don't know. I have this weird feeling that might have been the reason why they just wanted to like sniff through my stuff or something. So because spirit is telling me that people are using my own things against me. Like, spirit has like incessantly repeated many times that people are using my things against me. So I don't know. I don't know how much of that is valid in this particular case. I have no idea. I don't know if I'm tripping. I don't know if I'm not tripping. I wouldn't be surprised. But the reason why I find it hard to believe a little bit is because, well, they already have their own techniques. They already use Telema. The Illuminati uses Telema and voodoo, right? And voodoo's pretty powerful. I ain't gonna lie. Telema's complicated. It's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. It's way too complicated. There's too many numbers and too many like geometric stuff, and I'm just nah. Like like it's a turn off. It's worse. I think Telema is worse than Enochian magic, to be quite honest. Because Telema, it's a mix of Egyptian magic, Jewish magic. It's a mix of Egyptian Kabbalah and demons and Solomon. It's like a mix of Solomon keys, Kabbalah, keys of Solomon, Kabbalah, and Egyptian Book of the Dead magic. And whatever Egyptian magic. So it's too much information overload, bro. But I know they use those magic systems. I don't know how effective those magic systems are in a case like this, because I don't really do the things that the Illuminati does. So I don't know, how convenient these magic systems that they use is against people when they're trying to, do evil acts. uh you know um but I do know they practice that, and they've been practicing that for a long time. So I would be kind of surprised if they needed to steal some new form of magic from somebody, like steal ideas from a new form of magic from somebody, that never practiced it and that didn't even know it existed until recently. So I'm kind of like, it's kind of weird, but it's understandable because I'm pretty powerful, and and I have a strong connection to technomancy. I am a technoman. Well, I haven't been crowned technomancer, but I'm working hard to get there, though. I'm working hard to get that title, man. I haven't had the title yet, but I'm working hard to get that title, man. I do want that title, technomancer. I know it's gonna be a hard road. I know it's gonna be a hard road, but I'm motivated, man. So I don't know. I have no idea. It's weird. But on the other hand, the video I made about the camera ability, I thought I was gonna have a little bit more likes than that, because I don't give a lot of boons to Christianity, even though I try to involve Christianity in what I'm saying, because I know that Christians are gonna turn out Luciferians. Like, real Christians are gonna end up being Luciferians, because you're gonna get frustrated, you're gonna be angry, you're gonna be frustrated, you're gonna be mad at God. Eventually you're gonna be mad at God. And even if you're not mad at God, you're gonna be frustrated because there's so much evil, and it's the evil on earth is so potent and like massive, and when you compare it to the good, it's like the good is barely visible, and evil is massively more capable of manifesting, like of poltergeisting in and around the world, that you're gonna feel the unbalance. You're gonna end up being Luciferian, bro. You're gonna end up being Luciferian. Cause me, I am Lucifer. Like, we share the same space. I don't know if I should say this, because I'm starting to feel like it's kind of giving me bad luck. I might be tripping. If I'm tripping, I'm sorry, Lucifer, because I know Lucifer loves me. and I love Lucifer too. Okay, but I might be tripping sometimes, and I be tripping sometimes too, because it's hard to decipher everything. It's hard to know. You're dealing with people that can imitate people perfectly, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're dealing with a beholder. You're dealing with a crappy. It's like the Illuminati is like a beholder made out of crap. Like, it's like like, there's regular beholders. Apparently, I got a pissed off a beholder the other day. I don't know how. I'm gonna have to watch the fuck out. I don't know how I pissed him off. I had a dream, and I had a beholder in the dream, and he was like disappointed and shit. I don't know how I did that. So anyway, I'm gonna look that up. So anyways, man, it's like the Illuminati is like a beholder made out of garbage, and it's kind of like, but it's still a beholder. It might be made out of garbage, but it's still a beholder at the end of the day. So it's hard, like, it's getting harder and harder to like, because spirits can't, in the situation that I'm in, spirit can't communicate with me all willy-nilly, because they can see and hear what's going on, right? So we don't want them to know what our plans are, but it's hard to not give them the plans, because they're consistently 24 hours a day keeping tabs on me. So how the fuck am I supposed to keep anything secret? You know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot of effort. It's almost impossible. So that's why spirit don't talk to me that much, don't communicate to me that much. But it's not, it's a double-edged sword because I'm going to lose the connection. So I end up losing the connection often, and then I have to, get back to myself like this, like I'm doing right now, by reassuring that I love Lucifer, by reassuring myself that Lucifer loves me, by things like that, but it's not easy because they're already pissed off because I lost the connection, and I'm pissed off because I lost the connection. So so everybody's pissed off, so it's not a great position to be in. It's not a great position to be in. So anyways, back to what I was saying. I felt like that was a good boon, and I know people are already using this ability and stuff like that, and it's important to keep the connection with the spirits that you're working with, and as I was saying, you're gonna end up being Luciferian at some time and point, because like I was saying, the thing with me and Lucifer is I thought I was living the life of Jesus in my head. I thought I was living the life of Jesus in my head, but I wasn't. I was living the life of Lucifer. It just looks the same. It looks exactly the same, but it's a sleight of hand. God, Yahweh, whatever his name is, Sakla, let's call him Sakla, uh, did a sleight of hand. There was a sleight of hand there, bro. Like, because he made us think that we were Jesus, but in actuality, we were not Jesus. We were Lucifer, and because we're the bringers of light, and that light and religion. And I'm sorry to say, I'm gonna get punished by Sakla for saying this. He's gonna send a bunch of curses at me and people and stuff and intimidate me with his angels. Pardon me for saying, he's gonna send some angels after me to scare the shit out of me and shit, like he usually does. But religion is dimming your light. Religion is dimming your light. Your belief in Sakla is actually dimming your light. You're the light bringer. You have all the knowledge within you, and that knowledge, and you're gonna have to wake up one of these days and realize that the reason why you have that knowledge is because you are God, right? Like Lucifer wasn't lying when he said that you were God. You know what I mean? Jesus said the same thing. Jesus said we are gods, but Jesus said we are gods plural. He didn't say that we are God. I'm saying you are God, which is the difference between Lucifer. Well, that's where it's debatable, because people are like, oh, well, Jesus said we are gods plural. He didn't say that we are God. That's different. And that would be, some people feel that would be arrogant to feel that way. But why is that arrogant? Maybe when I say that we are God, it's actually in an innocent fashion. Why would it be in an arrogant fashion? We are God, right? That means all of us together, we are capable of great things, right? So that's a unison, that's a unifying statement. It's a unifying statement. It's not a statement that removes specific people from the equation. You are God. You are God. We're not gods. You are God. That means all those beautiful things, the love, the love of God, the paradise, the this, the that, the this, the that stems from us. You are God, right? But the thing is, at the end of the day, both of them was right, because we are gods. We're born on a certain day. I was born on April. April is The first is the month or the moment of the year when we cultivate or we start growing. You start growing in April. And then it's also related to the planet Mars. Altar. Who are better known. The star if you're born in April, you're born under the star of Altar, who is also known as Atlas. Right? He carries the world over his shoulders. Right? And your color is represented by red, which is represented by the planet Mars, which is also the planet the planet of the Roman god Mars, who's the god of war, right? And also the Greek god of war, Ares, right? We both had the same name. Ares is a Aries. It's a bit redundant, but Ares is a Aries. You know what I mean? Aries is Aries, bro. Like the whole, so it's a bit redundant, but that's facts, So you are a child of a god, but you also are a god, right? But you also are God. So you're a child. You're born from a god, but you also are God, the God of the Bible. You are the God of the Bible, but you don't know that yet, and you still cling to old traditions and old ways of thinking. Like Lucifer is a futurist. Lucifer thinks in the future. Lucifer doesn't think. Lucifer is King the Conqueror, my nigga. For my language. But Lucifer is King the Conqueror, bruh. He's King the Conqueror. He will take over your whole shit. And I'm starting to notice that. I'm starting to notice something. And I think it's me that's not ready for that ability. But man, it's not, I don't want to debate Lucifer, about anything. But it's just that me personally, I hate people. Like, I don't hate everyone, but you gotta be strong to do what Lucifer does. I'm not gonna tell you what ability that he's currently, the path working that he's currently putting me on, and I don't hate it. But if we were in another situation, I would totally take advantage of it. It's because of the current situation that I'm in. I don't like this ability. I don't like. It's not the ability that I don't like. I don't like my environment. And he's like he's powerful, and he's using powers that are unexplainable, and he's doing stuff that's unexplainable, and that's great, and I'm rejecting it because I don't want it. I want my own shit. I mean, I'm good. I mean, I'm no offense to other people's stuff. Your stuff is fine. It's just that I want my own stuff. I don't want to use other people's stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can't put any context, but if you think about it in some way, shape, or form, that makes sense. On the surface level, I think that makes sense. But he's like that. He does things. He's unpredictable. He's an unpredictable entity. He's an unpredictable entity. So, Lucifer has the power to take over somebody's stuff. Like he can just take over things, and like physically, not like on the astral realm, blah blah blah. No, he will take. It's weird. He's powerful. He's a very powerful being, and we're talking about love here, which is kind of weird to say, but we're talking about love here, man, which is bizarre, So, because he's not doing stuff to people, like he's not doing mean stuff. He's just putting you in positions where people like you more, kind of, But the thing is, I don't want those people to like me more. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like I don't want that, and he feels like I'm being weak, and I'm not playing into his game. I'm not answering him. I'm not admitting that I'm weak or not weak. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that notion because that's not my plan. That's not part of my plan. It's not it seems like a hassle. Like, to me it feels like a hassle. It feels like it's asking too much. You know. But it's good to know though. It's good to know though. Um so eventually you'll become a Lucifer archetype. You're gonna become a Lucifer archetype because you're gonna realize that you've been cast out of heaven because you still think heaven is another realm, which it can live on another place, but this is actual heaven. This is the actual heaven, and this is the actual Garden of Eden, right? And what like, cause at the end of the day, I mean, shit, we got a lot of proof. There's the pyramids of Giza. There's like star forges. Have you ever seen a 1800 European town? What it looks like? It's fucking amazing. No, there's humans did not build that shit. It wasn't us that built it, bro. It's amazing, man. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. Like, no one, we didn't build that. We did not build that shit. It was already there when we got there, bro. Like, we did not build that shit, bro. It's way too intricate. There's way too many details. It's way too beautiful. It can't have been done by us. We have trouble drawing hands on a goddamn fucking 2D fucking piece of paper. How the heck did we build all that? That's ridiculous. We did not build that shit, man. We can recreate it now, but we didn't build the first version of it. You got star forges and stuff like that. I believe in that shit. Star forges, I believe in that shit, bro. Like, cause why is there tall ass towers in the 1800s? Why would you? We don't shoot arrows. We got guns. What would you need a big ass tower for, bro? Like, what is that for, man? Like 5, 6 of them around town. That's a star forge, bro. Like, that's a satellite, bro. You communicating with people, son. You doing something, bro. You suspect, bro. So, you're gonna notice that you've been kicked out of heaven, and the whole time you keep asking yourself, why are these things happening? How come everybody hates me and shit? And then you get the ultimate feedback. You get the ultimate comment in the comment section saying you are not of this world and shit like that. That shit frustrates me so fucking much when I hear that shit. And it's so frustrating because I got the right to live. I got the right to live, bro. I got the right to be on this planet, man. Like, I got the right to live, bro. I don't like it. I don't like you hearing that shit. Oh, you're not of this. It seems like a cop out. It's a cop out, man. Like, so like I don't want to wait until I die to receive any fucking blessings. I don't even want blessings if I die. I want my blessings right now. Right here, right now. I'm like a life junkie. I'm like a junkie for life. I want some life right now, today. I don't want it 3,000 later. And I'm too wise to believe that that's the right way to see things. I'm way too wise because I know, like, people keep saying you're not going to bring your money with you when you die. Yes, you will. Yes, you will bring your money with you when you die. Yes, absolutely. The richer you are right now, the more presence you have in the other realms. The more important. I was talking about that in the yesterday's video. I was talking about that in yesterday's video when I say the more important, if you do like LeBron James he has presence because he did this. He has many feats of athleticism and challenges that he has overcome, so therefore he has some kind of importance, whether you like it or not, in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's on the negative side of things or positive side of things, everybody knows him. At the end of the day, everybody knows him. Even if you don't like LeBron James, you still know him, right? So it's the same thing. So this goes the same thing with your success. I mean, your actual physical money is not gonna come with you, but your success is gonna come with you, and that's why your scale. That's why I tell you, scales, the little things that you use to put like weights on and to weight things. That's an important magical tool that you should have in your home, and a lot of people already have a fucking scale in their homes. I've seen some videos of some people that bought a scale after I said the shit, which I, salute to you. And, and I'm pretty sure the Illuminati got some scales in their house right now because I said it and shit like that. And it's probably working. And that's why they're kicking my ass and shit, because they're thinking my own goddamn tricks and using it against me and whatever. So, so anyways, man, scales. So your success that goes on the scale. If you have a lot of success, that's gonna go on the scale, and depending on what kind of success that you have, it might be a good thing. Because success is not a bad thing. But you might be. It doesn't. Your success, dependently on how you achieved your success, it's gonna come with you. It's part of who you are. So your scale judges everything. Your scale judges everything. All your fucking actions. It weighs, it unbalances or balances your scales, right? So that's why it's a powerful tool. Just like you should have a chalice and you should have a scale on your fucking altar. Those are two important tools, because you're especially your people are starting to get into the chalice, the cup thing. They're starting to get into it because, like I said, I made a lot of video explaining what it is. So now you're probably starting to understand the power that's behind the chalice, the Holy Grail, as some people would call it. Some people call it the Holy Grail. Some people call it Exodus, whatever. That's what it is. So those are very powerful tools that in the astral realm will give you power, so it's important to have that. I wear my chalice inside of me, right? The scale I should buy, I don't have one yet, because I want an old school one. But the chalice, I have it inside me, and I have cups and stuff. But whatever. But the chalice, that's like in my head. I'm always keeping that because it's the way that I think. It's the way that I think. My chalice is the way I think. My cup is always full. It's never half full. It's always full. And I can change what I want to put in it. Right? It's like in my head, I have like this juice maker, right? And I have a cup, and I can change the juice that's inside of my cup. And that's how you create thought forms, right? That's how you create thought forms. I can create thought forms with a chalice, So I got to change whatever's in the cup for something else, And it's a pretty big cup, so I don't even need to... my cup is immensely huge. Like, it's the size of a fucking pyramid. Probably bigger than that. So I can just put in there whatever the fuck I want. Without losing other things. Because you need to practice. If you want to use the chalice, you need to practice. But I see people be listening, and that's good. So back to what we were saying, you're gonna feel these things, you're gonna see these things, you're gonna understand these things, you're gonna understand that eventually, maybe not right now, but eventually you're gonna understand that you're a fucking demon. You're a demon. You're a shaitan. You're shaitan. You're a demon, man. And because you're gonna see that you are not loved in the right way. You're getting seduced by the devil, or what you perceive as being the devil, which is actually God. Because like I say, like me personally, man, when I ask God for help, he only sends me the Illuminati, bro. I asked, and that was my boat. The Illuminati was my boat, bro. He sent that boat 3 times. 3 fucking times. I prayed to God to help me, in some way, shape, or form, because I was broke, man. I was broke, man. I asked God to help me like a motherfucker, man. Like I prayed, and I used to believe in God. I did not like the devil. I didn't want to know anything about the devil. I wanted to fight the devil and all that shit. And but every time I asked for help, it was the Illuminati that came along, and nobody else. It wasn't no church people. It was the Illuminati, bro. And that happened 3 times. The first time I didn't believe it. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I just failed, or you just didn't hear me. The second time I was like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. The third time I was like, man, fuck off. Like the third time I was pissed. Like, so I don't know. You can choose to still believe in this Sakla character if you want to. You can choose to believe in all those traditions if you want to. But I'm telling you that the real thing, the real notions, the real good guys are actually the bad guys. Everything is upside down, as above, so below. The good guys are the bad guys. The good guys are the bad guys, man. They're the ones that actually have love for humanity. They're the ones that actually teaches us a lot more things than we're even aware of. I know a lot of things that I don't even know why I know it. like there's some that I know some stuff that I have no idea why I even know this shit. So it's like they give us a lot. They gave us a lot of wisdom, and we're not even aware that it's them that's giving us the wisdom. We think it's this, pathological psychopath, one-track mind entity that we call God and stuff that's giving us all of these boons, but it's not. He gave us a couple of boons. Like, he gives us enough to survive. Lucifer will plenty your tummy until you can't take anymore, right? He'll give you, and the worst part is, it's God that made you that promise that he was gonna fill your tummy up with all kinds of water, with all kinds of drinks and foods. He's the first one to say that, but he's the first one to not do it. Now I'm full of wine, fine water, fine wine, and fine food. Now that I have relinquished my shackles to Shakla, to Sakla. When I broke my shackles from him, that's when my tummy was full. And it's still gonna get more full as times go along, because I've forgotten those old traditions that was keeping me, that was holding me back. Basically, it was holding me back, man. It was holding me back and made me weak, and it's gonna make you weak too. If you get to the point where you're born again Christian, and when you get into the realization that God might not be the best person in the fucking world, if you continue down that road of still believing in him, even though he's not the best person in the universe, and you're gonna make yourself weak, and you're gonna miss the boat. You're not going to miss the Illuminati boat. You're not going to miss the physical boat. But you're going to miss a powerful boat. A boat that's full of power. A boat that's full of you. A boat that's full of your essence. Your Noah's Ark, right? Because some of us are Noah's Ark, man. There's going to be like people like us, like leaders are Noah's Ark, right? Leaders, they're boats, right? Leaders are boats, right? And some leaders are Iceland. But the leaders that are islands, not Iceland, islands, leaders that are like that, that's because they already have their people. When you call yourself an island, when somebody comes to you and I'm like, I'm not a boat, I'm an island, I'm not this, I'm an island, right? When a business guy tells you he's an island, that means he has a lot of people with him, right? Like, and they all live with him, You know what I mean? So not physically in the house with them, but he knows a lot of people, and he's an island, right? When a person is a boat, right, is because you're on the journey, right? You're on the journey, you're collecting all of your people, you're amassing all of the people. But being a boat is still a good thing. That means you got a lot of power. When you start seeing Noah's Ark, when you start hallucinating Noah's Ark, when you start hearing people talk about boats all the time, that's a good thing. And no, you're not supposed to wish to be an island. Not yet. That's not important, because the boat means you're very powerful too. Of course, the island guy is more powerful, but as a boat, that means you're extremely powerful too. It's not something to be taken lightly. And you're the one that's going to bring people. You're going to bring people with you, to a new destination, to a new world, right? That's your responsibility. That's my responsibility. My responsibility is to be a boat. And maybe later on, if I'm lucky, I'll be an island. And I might not be an island. There's a lot of powerful men. There's a lot of powerful people, and a lot of powerful women, a lot of powerful men that are not islands. They're boats till this day. But they're very powerful. They might not have 3 billion people with them, but they're very powerful nonetheless. They can still wreck shit. They can still flood you. You know what I mean? They can still flood you. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter. There's some people that are strong individually, and there's some people that are strong with a group of individuals, but they're both the same. The island guy and the boat guy, they're both the same. It's just that there's some differences. There's some different similarities, There's some little tweakage, Because at the end of the day, maybe you don't want an island. Maybe you don't want to be an island. Maybe you'd rather be a boat. There's some people that rather be a boat than an island. You know what I mean? Because when you're an island, you gotta be responsible for everybody that's on the island. And you are responsible for everybody that's on the island. So you can't let anything bad happen to anybody that's on the island. And if something bad does happen, you got to be able to rectify the situation if something bad happened to one of the people that's in your island. And bad shit will happen. So even the people that's in the island are strong people, because they're aware that something bad could happen. They're not hoping that it happens, but they're very aware that something bad could happen, and they're ready to take that hit. They're ready to take that hit because they believe in you. They believe in your project. They believe in what you're doing. And they're probably getting a lot of fucking shmoney dealing with you. So, yeah, you got their loyalty, and they're loyal to you, and you're loyal to them. And you have to be loyal to them, or else you're going to lose the island. So you got to be ready to take those hits. You got to be ready to anticipate hits. You got to be ready to rectify hits. And you gotta be responsible towards those people, basically, end of story. But the person that has the boat, he also needs to be responsible for his people, because there's a lot of people on the boat. You might not be an island, but there's a lot of people watching you. There's a lot of people that believe in you. There's a lot of people want to be with you. They want to be around you. They want to come with you. They want to go with you wherever you're going, and you're gonna bring them there. That's why you're a boat. Right, but the difference between the boat guy and the island guy is he finished, right? Like he's done. He arrived to the promised land. But the boat guy, he's going to the promised land, because that means your business is currently generating money, right? But you're the one steering the boat. There's a wheel on the boat, right? There's a wheel on the boat. So now, if you got other people behind you and you're on the boat and you're steering the boat, well, now you're the one that's going to steer the boat wherever you want it, which means, am I going to do 200K a year? Am I going to stop? Am I going to do 200K a year and just take care of people on my YouTube channel and make, I don't know, comments or, quick videos, quick tutorials, right? As I'm going to do that. Now you're steering the boat somewhere. Or am I going to go towards 500K a year and do special events that holds like 1,000 people for $40 and blah, blah, blah? You're steering the boat, right? You're the one steering the boat. So, it's your decision where you want to land. It's your decision where you think that the promised land is. And the promised land is a place that's good for you, not a place that's good for everybody else. Right? It's a place that's good for you, not necessarily for everybody else, because you're not doing it for other people, right? You're kind of doing it for other people, but you're not doing it for other people. You're doing it for yourself, but because you can't help being yourself. You can't stop being yourself, and you can't stop other people from liking who you are either, so you can't stop other people from liking who you are too, especially if you're a public figure. You can't stop other people from liking you, right? Because now you're crashing. If you're doing that, now you're crashing, because you're the one that built the boat in the first place. As soon as you become an entrepreneur or some shit like that, you're starting to build the boat. When you start to be an entrepreneur, a spiritualist, when you consider yourself a spiritualist, you're building a boat. And a spiritualist deals in spirits, and spirits are people. So it doesn't make sense to want to be a spiritualist. If you do want to be a spiritualist, not everybody wants to be a spiritualist. Some people are spiritual, but they don't want to be a spiritualist, But if you become a spiritualist, well, it just so happens that, that's a boat. Anything you choose to be, even if you're an athlete that just runs, that's a boat. Because you got family, you got friends. You're the one steering the boat. You're the one with the biggest boat. They got boats too, but you're the one with the biggest boat. So they're not gonna stay on their little fucking canoe when you got an ark. You know what I mean? No, but for real, bro, it doesn't make sense. Why would you got an ark unless the person doesn't like you, right? Unless it's a family member that's jealous of you and shit. But if he got a canoe, if somebody's right next to a person, like you're on your canoe, right? You're on the ocean in your fucking canoe, right? And in your raft, you're on a raft, right? And this freaking massive giant ark just right next to you. You're not gonna be like, hey, you know what, bro? Can you pick me up real quick? You know what I mean? So you're not just gonna let the fucking ark float by. Some people would, because they're resentful. They'd be like, they're gonna cross their hands and be like, look at this fucking guy with his fucking ark. He thinks he's fucking better than me. It's not about you being better, man. I built the ark so you won't have to drown in that stupid little fucking raft that you keep fucking holding on to. Let go of the fucking raft. Let go of your canoe, bruh. Get on the fucking, get on the fucking boat, man. With your fucking canoe. And there's a lot of people that's gonna stay on their canoes, bruh. Like at the end of the day, even family members are staying on your fucking canoe. Because they don't fucking like your face. Because they're fucking jealous. Okay? It's facts. It happens, man. It happens, bro. Not to everybody, but it fucking happens. There are some people that are pissed off that you got a fucking boat. They're the ones that wanted the boat. And sometimes somebody in the family has a boat, but you don't want to join that boat too. There's that too, because it's not necessarily that you don't like their face, but you don't want to join whatever they're doing. So you go on your little raft and you go try to make your own boat, because you got the right to build a boat. That's the thing, because we're just copy paste of the same person, right? We might have different colors, we might have different faces and shit like that, but we're actually copy paste of Lucifer. Every one of us is a copy paste of Lucifer, right? And allegedly this Sakla character, I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm more prone to believe that we're all copy pasted Lucifers, right? Because this is a fucking computer simulation, right? So in actuality, Lucifer just copy pasted 100 times himself, and he just added different color palettes to he just fucking added different color palettes on humans, right? But we're actually all copy pasted Lucifers, right? So he just copy pasted a million times the same fucking person, which is him, right? So at the end of the day, everybody can have a boat, and everybody has the opportunity to have a Christ-like consciousness and live all of these things. Everybody can do it. It might be harder from other people because of certain, I don't know, learning disabilities or whatnot and so on and so on. I don't know, but I do know that everybody could and everybody can actually go forward and try to harness a Christ consciousness, right? Anybody can do that. Everybody can do that. It's like that's why they made the fucking Bible, that's why allegedly they made the Bible in the first fucking place, because it's something that everybody should be doing, but not everybody is doing, but it should be done by everybody else, but nobody's actually really doing it, right? And even if we wanted to do it, we don't even have the right information, so we can't actually do it. If you do this, it's by pure fucking luck. If you end up with a boat, it's random fucking luck, because we don't have the information. We don't have the correct information. We don't know what's going on. We don't know how it's happening. Maybe somebody knows, but the general masses don't know. And I'm part of the general masses. I'm not part of no cult or whatever. Pause, no pun intended. I'm not part of some shit like that. Some satanic, diabolical, the sexually depraved group of people. I'm just me. So I study and I got lucky a little bit. Like there's a little bit of luck. There's like 50% skill and 50% luck at the end of the day. At the end of the day, so 50% skill, 50% luck, and that's the same for everybody else. It's 50% skill, 50% luck. We don't know. We don't have the information. We don't have the information. Like, I didn't know that I was an ark. I'm an ark. Like, I didn't know I was an ark, bro. Where am I? That's not what it says in the fucking Bible. It said Noah built an ark, and then he brung everybody on the fucking thing because everybody was about to die. That's what I read. I didn't understand. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know what that means. I didn't understand, bro. But an ark is something that holds a lot of things, which is basically the spirit, consciousness, right? That's what the ark is. The ark is consciousness. The ark is spirit. It's a thing that holds a lot of things. We hold a lot of things in us, and we choose what we want to bring with us. And at the end of the day, we do have to listen to the universe, because we can't just bring whatever we want on the ark. Like, I'm trying to bring, something on the ark right now, and I'm having a lot of trouble bringing it. I'm not going to say what it is. Well, it has something to do with hot women, So, I'm trying to bring it to the ark. I'm trying to bring it on the ark. I want to, So, I mean, she's already on the ark, but I'm not gonna get into details. So, anyways, I'm trying to bring things, but some things are not. You can't bring it on the ark. You can't, There's some things you can't bring on the ark, man. Like, and I'm figuring this out. I'm figuring it out, bro. But that doesn't mean, just because I can't bring it on the ark, that doesn't mean I'm gonna give up on trying to bring it on the ark, bro. Because there has to be a reason. There has to be a valid reason on why I can't bring that specific thing on the ark, And I want to know what it is, I want to understand, because I love women. I think they're wonderful, and so on and so on. So so yeah, arc is a pretty big thing. It's huge. It holds a lot of things. You can put a lot of things. I didn't get it. It's only recently. It's only been a couple of years that I understand the notion of being an arc. And not only that, there's some things on the like a real Luciferian is extremely powerful, because in at the end of the day, I understand why Lucifer doesn't need a Bible. You know, I always thought it was stupid. To be honest, I'm sorry. Pardon me for saying Lucifer. Pardon to myself for saying, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. I thought it was stupid for a long time. I thought that was stupid. Even when I believed in God, I was like, why? How are they supposed to know what the fuck they're doing? Like what the, you know, like what? How? What the fuck? You know? So, and it's only now I realize that, you know, you can basically. Oh, I can't finish that sentence apparently, but I don't know if I. Well, you know, basically, I just noticed why. I'm not gonna say why, but I just noticed why he doesn't need a Bible. You know, and it's a very cool reason. It's very dope. It's very dope. It's very dope. It's very awesome. But that's the same reason why I'm not afraid to say Noah Ark, you know, or just the Ark. I try not to say Noah too much, but I use the word Ark, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a Luciferian thing to have an Ark. I think it's normal. I think it's part of you. I don't think God gave you the Ark, and that's the thing. Like in the Bible, it says Noah, he asked Noah to build an ark, and that's bullshit. Because at the end of the day, he always had an ark, and that's the thing. And that's how, like, that's kind of like how Jesus got fooled by Sakla too. You know, if he got fooled by Sakla, because we don't even know if he did get fooled by Sakla. Maybe he knew. Maybe he knew the whole time. You know what I mean? But you know, apparently not, but that's how Jesus and Noah, that's how everybody got fooled. Me, Jesus, everybody. Lucifer, that's how we all got fooled by this guy, because he acts like he's giving us things. He's not giving us things. He's just like the dude that has precognition, right? He's basically selling ice to polar bears. That's what Sakla does. Sakla is a guy that sells water to fish. That's what he does. That's he or she. That's what he or she does. It's an entity. It's a precognitive entity that knows how to sell water to fish, right? Like you're a fish. You're already in water, right? But this dude is sitting there and he's trying to tell you, "Oh, I gave you the water," but you're a fish. You couldn't be a fish if water didn't already exist. So how did you give me fucking water? Like that doesn't even make sense. So, and I'm noticing these things, and that's why I'm like, I'm not, you know, Christians might not like me right now, but they're gonna end up liking me later. They're gonna end up liking me later because they're gonna end up finding out that he's fucking right. This mother effer was selling me water, and I'm a damn fish. I'm gonna stop laughing. This dude was selling me water, and I'm a damn fish, man. That's some messed up ish. So, you know, because all through the Bible, it's always like that. It's like he gave you stuff, like he gave you know, like he gave you life, like he asked you to do this, he asked you to do that, like. But the thing is, you was already like that before you was even born. You was already like that before you was even born, bro. And that's the thing, when people realize that when people are, because nobody realizes this, right? But they get glimpses and visions and insights from time to time, and it makes them feel like something is different about them. So they go for the first thing they know that's not fucking diabolical, which is the Bible. You know, and they hope that they get an answer, and you do get some kind of answer from it, you know, so you believe in it even more, bro. But you're still getting visions as time goes along. You're still getting these visions. You're still getting these insights. And it's kind of like, And that's what pisses him off. And that's why you become a targeted individual. You see, the more insightful you become, the more wisdom you amass, because the universe is going to drop bombs on you regardless of Sakla's, tendencies or, agenda. You're still going to get the stuff that you need. So the universe is still going to drop bombs on your mind. It's still going to drop gems. It's still going to give you gems and stuff like that. And you become more powerful. You become more wise. You become more insightful. You have more precognition. And that he hates that shit. Because he hates it because you're becoming more of a god day by day. So he puts you, and you're not stupid, but you put yourself in harm's way by believing in him. If you're indigo, if you're starseed, you're indigo, you consider yourself 144,000, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. You're putting yourself in harm's way because you're the kind of person that is the devil. And that's the thing that society doesn't understand. You are the devil. You're sitting there believing in God and shit, and you keep telling people that you believe in God. Me, like, the more I used to believe in Jesus and his abilities, the more people used to call me a demon, a witch, But I wasn't doing witchery. I was just repeating what I saw in the Bible. And people would call me a witch, burn the witch, and that was Jesus's. I was following Jesus's teachings in particular, and people would call me a witch, But I'm sitting there, but I'm not a witch. I'm telling you what's in the Bible. That's in the Bible, man. Anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Like, so you're gonna get attacked. You're gonna get attacked, and it's him that's gonna attack you because he doesn't want you to understand that you are all of those things. He's selling you water, and you're a fish. So you're Lucifer. You're the demon. I'm Lucifer. I'm the only one. Lucifer. I'm Lucifer. But you're like Asmodeus or something. you're like Lucifuge, or no offense, no pun intended, but you're a demon, right? But you think of yourself as an angel, and you want to be an angel because you think that's a good thing, and it's normal for you to think it's a good thing. There's nothing wrong about that. You're not crazy for believing that. You're not a horrible person because you think that. You're actually a good person, or you want to be a good person, but it's not possible for you to be a good person because everybody else is bad. So anyway, you're getting knowledge from the universe because you're a powerful person and you're intelligent, you're smart, you're understanding, you're a good person. If you're a good person, you're gonna get powers. You're gonna get superpowers. You're gonna get it's facts. If you're a good person, you're gonna get superpowers because the universe is not gonna give power to somebody that's garbage. But at the same time, it's not just about being a good person, it's about being smart too, because you have to be able to use those abilities correctly. So if you're a good person and you're smart, the universe is going to give you wisdom, it's going to give you knowledge, it's going to give you precognition, right? God doesn't want that. Why would God want you to have all that power when he wants to rule over everything? He wants to be the only one. He doesn't want other gods. He said he's the one and only God. So that means he's out to kill your ass. Right there, right off the bat. Now people repeat that shit all the fucking time too. That's the worst part. Even I repeat that shit all the fucking time. Dude is trying to kill your ass. And he's telling you, bruh, like, I'm the only fucking god up in this bitch. No, pardon your face. I'm sorry. But it's true, like, He's like, yo, I'm the only. Don't. I'm sorry. I'm stop cursing. This I don't want to hurt your pretty ears. So that's the dude. Dude is like, he's what was I? What was I? Where was I? Where was I? He's Wait a minute, because I lost my train of thought here. Uh. So he's saying he's the one and only God, right? He's saying he's the only one and only God, and you're a God, or you're supposed to be a God, right? And he wants to be the only God. So you, dog, and now you're sitting there, you're getting harassed, huh? By demons, huh? By demons are harassing you, right? And he wants to be the only God, bro. You know? So like I keep trying to tell you, like you're a demon. You're Satan. Like you're the one. You're demonic. You're the one that's demonic. They're not wrong. The Illuminati is not wrong. You're the one that's wrong. Everything is right. You're the one that's not right. That's why you don't fit in anywhere. That's why you don't fit in. You've been cast out of heaven. When I got cast out of heaven, there's other angels that follow me. I was cast out of heaven with 1/3 of the choir of angels. That's not a lot. There's like billions of them. And I went out with 1/3. So that's like, shit, that's like 100,000. 144,000. 1/3 of a billion choirs of angels. So that's 144,000. Estimatedly. You know what I mean? We're Luciferians. We're not Christians. You believe in me. You know what I mean? That's 1/3. That's 1/3 of a billion. So it's around 100,000. Shit, man! Wow. This is a powerful video. This is a powerful video. This is some crazy shit. I've been holding it for a minute. I've been holding it inside for a minute and shit. But because it seems to me he has like upped the ante on the personal attacks recently. So I'm kind of like trying not to mention him, because every time I mention him, my whole fucking day is fucked up. But I have to tell you this, man. Like, I went away with 144,000 angels, and we became demons. We didn't become demons. They just called us demons. We didn't become demons. They just called us demons. And then people believed that we were demons, so our appearances changed. Because what you perceive persists. He's a clever son of a bitch. Sakla is a clever son of a bitch, bro. That's a curse. He cursed us. He cursed us. We don't look like that. We look like regular angels. Whatever the fuck a regular angels looks like. Which is not humanoid anyway. So who gives a fuck what the fuck we look like, to be quite honest. But if we do take a humanoid form, because everybody's perception persists, we look like the thing we look like. It's a curse. He did that to us. He used you against us. Shit, man. I feel like keep going, but I'm going to stop the video right there, because I feel like I might give you some information overload. And I'm going to go take penitence, because I curse too fucking much. I just cursed right now while saying that shit, and I can't stop. I just can't stop. Anyways, I'm gonna go sit in the corner for a minute, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, man. Peace out.